YouTube, it's your boy Sean Matrai here with the World Chalice combo tutorial video. I'm going to teach you how to combo World Chalice. I got top 16 in the meta Freekly. I know this deck is very overwhelming to people who've never played it. So with that being said, let's do this. Here we go. Alright, give me 1 sec here, and I got you. Alright, so let's go. Alright, so looking at this hand, we have Venus plus Chalice or Lee. Opening up Venus plus Chalice or Lee is full combo. And I'm going to teach you how to do this effectively. So first thing is you need to go into your settings and make sure you have manual 2 on. See this? This will allow you to set your spell and traps where you want to, or place your monsters wherever you want. And that's very important with this deck, as zone placement is very huge. With that being said, here we go. Alright, so we're going to normal Venus in the 3rd monster zone on the left. So this is Chalice plus Venus. Alright? Now, with Chalice plus Venus, I'm going to turn off the voice lines here. With Chalice plus Venus, we are able to go into a full combo board that is going to end on Ningirsu, Firewall, and hopefully, if we get the setup as well, another World Chalice, and that will interrupt your opponent twice. So we're going to summon Venus. We're going to trigger Venus's effect to summon a Shine Bowl out of the deck. So we're going to do that. And in the far right zone. Next, we're going to go Venus again, summon a Shine Bowl to the middle zone. Okay, so now our field consists of Venus and 2 Shine Bowls. Next, we are going to link off our Shine Bowl that is in the middle. Very important. Keep the one on the right. You may say, what's the difference? Why can't I keep it in the middle? The reason is, once you link summon Aurum, you will not be able to summon off Aurum because you will not have a World Chalice monster pointing to Aurum. Okay? So we're going to link off the Shine Bowl and we're going to summon Imduke. After we summon Imduke, we are then going to make an Ib. Well, no. Never mind. Don't make an Ib. Ignore that. We are then going to tribute summon our World Legacy World Chalice by tribute summoning Venus. I thought we were going for the other combo line, but we're not. So don't make an Ib here. Then, after we tribute summon, we're going to link off Chalice and Imduke to make Aurum. How do we do that? Well, we need 2 World Legacy monsters. And it's a link 2, which means, in the theory of everything being a link 1 outside of links, we can then use 2 link materials to make a link 2. As long as we meet the conditions. And we do, because we have 2 World Chalice monsters. Now, the thing you need to know is when you tribute summon World Legacy World Chalice, and that goes to the grave, you get to summon 2 World Chalice monsters out of the deck. And what's very important you need to know, and where people will screw up with this combo, is it must be tribute summoned. So if you try and extend it and special summon it off like an Imduke or something, it's not going to work. It must be tribute summoned. Alright? And do not trigger Imduke here. If you trigger Imduke here, what's going to happen is chains resolve backwards. You're going to trigger Imduke, which will special summon a World Chalice out of the hand. And then you will try and resolve World Chalice, but you won't be able to because you won't have room to summon 2 monsters out of the deck. Remember, it's not up to 2, it's 2. Alright, so now we're going to trigger our Chalice, and we're going to, very important, Guard Dragon here has to go to the middle. When we summon Guard Dragon out of the deck, it has to go in the middle, where this white box is. Because, you're going to see why later in the combo we want to extend to that point. To another point on the field. But, we want to get Guard Dragon here and Lee here. So we're going to go ahead and summon Guard Dragon here, and then Lee over here. Then when Lee is special or normal summon, we can trigger her effect. and we will add a World Legacy monster. Now, in this case, we already have 2 extenders. So, given that we opened up full combo with 2 extenders in there, we can guarantee that we're going to have a World Chalice available to special summon after Ningirsu. After Ningirsu. So we're going to add this. Then after that, we are going to go ahead and trigger Oram's effect. And we are going to revive back Imduke. Now with this on the field, we are going to make a Lee. And how are we going to make a Lee? I mean, not a Lee, an Ib. Well, Ib needs to be made by having 2 monsters on the field with 2 different types and attributes. So do we meet that condition? We do. We have Imduke and we have Lee or Imduke plus Shine Ball. I'm going to give you a hint. You are not using Shine Ball. Why? Because we're going to need to make a second Imduke next to that Lee. And Imduke requires a Link 1 that is a normal monster. This is why I told you earlier, you have to summon Shine Ball right under Oram. And the reason why is because if you do not do that, and you have Shine Ball sitting over here, you're going to be in a position where you're not going to be able to clear the Shine Ball. So we are going to go ahead and Link. I mean, Guard Dragon, not Shine Ball. Clear the Guard Dragon. Alright, now we're going to go ahead and link off Lee and Imduke, and we are going to summon Ib. Now, at this point, yes, we could trigger Imduke's effect, and we are going to special summon a Lee to the zone it points to. Alright, every World Chalice monster you have, as I said in the first video, is an extender. And this is no different. So, by extending, you are able to draw more cards off Ningirsu. If you didn't want to extend now and add back Lee first, we'll get to that combo later. But, then you don't have to. But, in some situations, it's okay to extend now, rather than wait for you to make Ningirsu. Now, the next thing is we're going to link off this Shine Ball and summon Ib. But you're going to, Imduke. And you're going to say, how? This doesn't link to this. But Ib sure does, right? Because Ib points left to right. They still link to each other, even if the arrows aren't pointing specifically. However, you now have it where it points left to right. Right? Because we can summon the link here, because Ib has arrows that point left. I mean, they're not co-linked, but they're linked, because the arrows are pointing to a link monster. Okay? So they are linked. Alright? So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to link off my Ib and my Imduke to make Ningirsu. Now, before you do this, you would like to make sure that you have a World Chalice monster in hand. We do. We have 2. Okay? Now, in this case, like I said, because we had 2 World Chalices already present in the hand, we have the option to search World Chalice, because we're going to have an extra World Chalice in the hand come time to summon it off Ningirsu. Alright? Now, you may ask me this. Okay, but why do we need to have the extra World Chalice in the hand? And what do you mean by summon off Ningirsu or summon now? I'm about to show you that. Now, we are going to link these 2 off, Imduke and Ib, and we're going to summon a link 3. How do we do that? Ib's the link 2, plus our link 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. So we are going to go ahead and link summon, and we're going to link it to Oram, but summon it in the same zone as Lee. And then we are going to chain Ib and Imduke. Now, the reason why you chain both here is because Ib and Imduke, all your World Chalices are not hard returns. And if your opponent hasn't resolved the counter trap, something like Salamander Roar yet, you are then able, given the ability to, play around it, still summon, because this is chain blocks your Ib, and then still get the draw, because you have both effects chain blocking Ningirsu. And we're going to summon Guard Dragon. And now, because 2 World Chalices are linked to Ningirsu, we are going to draw 2 cards. So a pot of greed, essentially. Now, next thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and perform another link summon. We're going to link off our Guard Dragon, our Oram, and our Lee to summon Firewall Dragon. It is very important. You must summon it next to Ningirsu. It could be on the left side or the right side, but it has to. And this does what a process called co-linking. So if you don't know what co-linking is, it means when 2 link arrows are touching each other. And you can see it highlighted here. It kind of like an orangish white color. See these 2 arrows here? That indicates co-linking. See, the 2 arrows are touching each other. And Firewall Dragon has an effect when 2 link monsters, including itself, are co-linked. It has an effect that is essentially a quick effect cyber / heartbeat lady. For you guys who have played Duel Links for that long, you can bounce a monster back to the hand. But it's better than Cyber Slash because you can bounce a monster from the graveyard to the hand. And that is a once per while it's on the field. However, if your opponent decides to use like something like Far From Malabranch of the Burning Abyss on it, then it will come back and it forgets that it was on the field to begin with. Alright? So in a case like that, that is something that you could do to use Firewall's effect again. You could also, on the follow-up, trigger Oram, and then Oram tribute Firewall, if Firewall was somebody else, or Firewall left the field. You could Oram tribute something and revive back Firewall. That's another way to get it on the field as well. Alright, here we have lethal. So I'm just going to go for the lethal line. But on turn 1 play, we have a Firewall bounce. We have ourselves a Chalice send, because Chalice also is the effect when a monster is special. If a monster, so you cannot miss the timing, is special summoned from the extra deck, you send this to the graveyard to send their monster to the graveyard. And also very important, that sends to the grave. So what does that mean? Since it sends it to the grave, it gets past Phalanx, because it doesn't destroy, it sends. So you get past Silent Migrate Phalanx, which is very good on this combo. Alright? And again, you can see more clearly here if you look at it. Those monsters are directly co-linked, so we are able to get that bounce. We're going to go ahead and trigger. Just for the purpose of going turn 2. Bounce back, we don't care. And then, that is a lethal play. GG. Okay. Now we are going to go ahead and do another combo line. Now again, it might take me a few refreshes to get to this point, because we have to see if we can get what we need in the hand. Alright. So we're going to do the next combo line. You're really going to make me wait this out, aren't you? Okay. This is the same combo line. That is full combo, but like I said, we just showed off this combo line. Alright? That's the same full combo Venus Chalice that we went over. Doesn't matter how many Shine Balls are in the hand. But Venus Chalice in itself is combo. Okay. The next combo line is Venus or Die plus Lee. We don't have Venus here, so I can't show you this with Venus, but I'm going to show you Die. So we're going to activate Unexpected Die, and we're going to summon a normal out of the deck. And it can be a Shine Ball. A Shine Ball is perfectly fine. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to link off into Lee. Now, let me explain. Alright? If you have a Shine Ball in hand, right? Let's say you had to normal summon Shine Ball, right? So link in the Lee. At that point, if you don't have Die in the hand, then you need another World Chalice in the hand. Right? Replacing Die. But, which could end on more than less optimal field if you go that route. But let's focus on this route. So we activated Die to summon Shine Ball out of the deck. Then, after we summon Shine Ball, since we have not even committed our first normal summon yet, we can go ahead and normal summon Lee. Now, Lee on summon, we'll search ourselves a Chalice. And this one we do need for the combo. Then, we are going to go ahead and we are going to tribute summon. Make sure you tribute summon now. Do not link into Orem and say, okay, I'll tribute summon then. Because, A, if this isn't in the hand, then you'll have nothing to tribute over. B, if you did this with Venus, and you already summoned Venus in the combo, then you go, I have nothing to tribute now. And then you get stuck. It won't let me tribute, because you've already used the extra normal summon ability. Okay, so very important. Tribute now. So we're going to tribute over Lee, and we're going to make Chalice. Tribute over Imduke as well. A good play, well, it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really matter anyway, because you activate when it's sent to the grave. Well, it does matter. It's better to tribute over Lee, because, I'm going to explain. You may say, does it make a difference? And it does. The reason why, well, let's see if it chain blocks this correctly. And then I'll explain it, because I don't want to give you guys false information. Anyway, at this point, we get, yes. Okay, it does work this way. So, the reason why I say this is, it's better to tribute over Lee, because if you have an additional World Chalice in the hand, what you're going to be able to do is, if you have another World Chalice in the hand, you're going to be able to chain block this. And this is very important. If your opponent has something like Salamangreat Roar, you immediately can chain block with Imduke. Okay? So that's very important if you're going second. But that's not relevant right now. We're not going to focus on that. A, because I only have one more Chalice in the hand, and I really don't want to use that yet. So we're going to use Chalice now, and we're going to summon out two. Going to go Guard Dragon here, and we're going to go for Lee. Now, this is one of those situations you're going to say, well, great. You're probably saying this to me. Well, great. Now I have another Shine Ball in the hand that I can't do anything with. No, let me assure you, that is not the case at all. Okay. So, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to Orem Tribute Guard Dragon. And this is going to resummon back Imduke. Now, you may recognize where I'm going with this. We're going to like summon Ib because we have two monsters with two different types. At this point, yes, we can Imduke summon out Orem. And then make another Imduke. Recognize this? Now, you're probably looking at me going, oh, great. Now I'm stuck. Because now I'm making Nagirasu. I don't have a monster in hand. I don't have another one on the field. How am I drawing cards? About to show you. You're going to first trigger Lee's effect. Lee has another effect. You can send one monster from the hand or field to the grave to add her back to the hand. Her search effect is a hard one's return. Otherwise, she'd be insanely broken. But we add Lee back to the hand. Why? Because now we have a World Chalice to summon out of the hand to draw from Ningirsu. Also, we trigger Guard Dragon. And Guard Dragon gets summoned back, chosen by the World Chalice. Now, for all you World Chalice fanboys, you know this is Orem. But, as a kid, but that's beside the point. Now, we are going to link off Ib and Imduke, and we are going to summon Ningirsu. Ningirsu will trigger, Imduke will trigger, and Ib will trigger, and we can summon out Lee. And there's our draw two. Now, looky here, we drew into Chalice. So now we have full combo. So now we are going to go ahead and link off Orem. You've seen this 100 times before. Chosen and Lee. And summon out Firewall Dragon. And we can trigger Orem's effect. Summon out the Firewall. And here we are again. I'm going to scoop this for the purpose of... Well, actually, no, I'm not, because I want farming. I want XP for Playmaker, so we're not going to scoop this. Oh, that's hilarious. Once you come to my streams, you will see the full power of Sean laugh. Okay? And that is game. See ya. Smell you later. We get that full powered setup. And we didn't even open up. There was no Venus in that Am, but we still had full combo. Now, next I am going to go over, and hopefully we draw into this soon, is Venus plus Lee. Because I did not go over that line. Okay, we just went over Di plus Lee. This is great, though, because we're drawing all combo hands. Like, if you're in a tournament and you're drawing these hands, you are very excited. Give me a Di plus Di or a Lee here. Not Di. Give me Venus and Lee. That's what I'm looking for. Oh, that's not a combo hand. How many gems must I spend to get this combo? Not gems, but you know what I mean. Dual orbs, I guess. No, that's not dual orbs. Gate keys. Alright, give me another one. You're just not gonna give me the combo, are you? You are so not gonna let me open Venus. I'm about to do this times one. Yeah, let's do this times one because we're using a lot of gate fodder here. Going times one at the gate. We don't stop until we get this combo. I want to show you this combo. Let me show you the combo. Heart of the cards, Venus Lee. Good, perfect. Alright. Yeah, do whatever. Alright, we have Venus Lee in the hand. Alright, so Venus Lee. Venus Lee. I don't care if we have Shine Ball in the hand. We have the combo. Now we're going to do the same thing that we did before. We're going to go Venus. And we're going to summon Shine Ball in the far right and in the middle. As we said this before. After we do that, I'm going to now link off the Shine Ball in the center. And we're going to summon said Imduke. Alright. Now the difference here is since we have Lee in the hand, we are going to go into it first. Reason why is because we need to summon here early or we're not going to be able to summon the Chalice. So we're going to summon Ib now using two monsters with different attributes and types. Venus is the Life Fairy, Imduke is a Wind Dragon. That fits the bill. Next, we're going to summon Lee here. And we're going to go ahead and search the World Chalice. Now, remember, we special summon Lee. So, because we special summon Lee, we can make this play. Okay? Because we are not going to commit our normal summon off Imduke. If you would have Imduke, summon Lee, and then search World Challenge, you're going to go, oh no, now I can't summon it. That's what I was alluding to before. And then you can't combo, and you're going to be a sad bunny. Now, you are going to link into Auram. Now, do not, and I repeat, do not click yes here and summon Chalice. If you do that, you are not going to summon out of the deck because it must be tribute summoned. Next, you're going to link the Shine Ball off into Imduke, and we are going to go ahead and tribute summon the Chalice. Now, what's very important is Chalice does not need to be linked in order to combo. Alright? Keep that in mind. It just needs to go to the graveyard or get banished in any way. Now, another thing is, if your opponent is a smart bunny and he's a good player, he can DD Crow you at this point. At the point of you tributing for Auram specifically rather than linking it off. And the reason why they could do that is because it's sent to the graveyard as a cost. And anytime you're sent to the graveyard as a cost, you're going to resolve a new chain and your opponent's going to have a chance to get it out of there before that's the case. And it's the same case because Orm's in the middle of resolving. Your effect has not come up yet. Whereas if you link summon, you are linking two monsters off and effects will be applied simultaneously and nothing is in the process of activation. Trigger effects, anyway, not ignition effects. But trigger effects will apply simultaneously. That's why if you play Triamid, what you do to get around Diddy Crow is set your field spells. When you want your trigger effects to go through without disruption, you want no activation during the open time before your trigger effects will resolve. You want no activations. That's why a good Triamid player will always set their field spells. Because if you set over Cruiser, they will not be able to DD Crow your Cruiser out of the graveyard before its effect can go up. Okay? It's the same thing in Burning Abyss. If you play Burning Abyss and you mill off Dante, and let's say you hit a Farfa, they have the chance to Crow you because Dante mills for cost. It does not mill for an effect. Alright? It says, send the top 3 cards to your deck to the graveyard, semicolon, then this card gains 500 attack for each. That's Dante's effect. However, if it sends off the top to the graveyard as a cost, your opponent has the chance to Crow you there. As opposed to, Beatrice dumping out of the deck is an effect. So at that point, they can't Crow you there. Because after you Beatrice dump Farfa, that is the effect of Beatrice. Farfa will then trigger because the trigger effect will apply immediately. Okay? So these are things you have to understand and realize. Now you may say, what about discarding the summon Beatrice? Well, like I said, that's technically a summon. Alright? So you can't Crow at that point either. Alright, anyway. Just long story short. Alright, now we're going to summon Lee back to the zone here. This is especially good if you open up Heart along with Venus Lee. Because if you open up Heart here, it's more beneficial because with World Legacy Heart, we can add back an Imduke because this combo's going to use 3 Imdukes. But we can add back an Imduke. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to summon out Chosen and World Legacy. A Guard Dragon. Now you're saying, oh no, but Guard Dragon wasn't summoned here. In this combo, it's fine. Guard Dragon doesn't need to be there because Ib's already there. Then we're going to go ahead and link off, and we're going to summon an Imduke. And then, because we lack another World Chalice in the hand, we're going to send our Shine Ball, as I said before. Or we could send Venus. Venus really has no practical application beyond this point. She can be used as damage, but if you want to keep a Shine Ball in hand, just have it follow normal, you can. So we'll pitch Venus, and then we will go ahead and we will link summon into Ningirsu. And we will special summon Lee. And pot agreed ourselves 2 cards. Now, we didn't draw on the World Chalice, that's fine. Alright, you've seen the turn 1 combos. We can't, unfortunately with this hand, we cannot double Ningirsu. There is a line that has double Ningirsu to it. And that line would allow us to use Ningirsu's effect twice. We really didn't have the hand for that. We need multiple World Chalices to not want to summon off Oram and to just go even further and then double Ningirsu. Because then we wouldn't use Oram's effect. Like if we wanted to go double Ningirsu, we wouldn't use Oram's effect to make ourselves the first Ningirsu. Like to summon out an Ib or an Imduke from the grave as we've been doing. What you would do instead is you would extend off the World Chalices. Then use Oram to revive Ningirsu to get rid of 2 cards. But that's not what we're doing here because we don't have as much extenders to do something like that. We're stuck with Die, Venus, and another Shine Ball. Anyway, what we're going to do now is we are going to make an Ib. Not an Ib, excuse me. What am I saying? We could do a few things. We have yet to use Guard Dragon's effect. So what we can do here is we could send off our Guard Dragon, send this off, so get rid of a card if we were going second. But in this case too, we don't even have to double Ning. If we want to bounce another card in the field and he has two cards, like two Blue Eyes White Dragons, pretend this is a Blue Eyes White Dragon. If our opponent has another Blue Eyes White Dragon on the field, we could just do this. Make Firewall, bounce it, and still kill him. So doubling Girsu wouldn't even be needed here. Now you're going to say to me, what about Decode Talker? Is Decode Talker ever used? Is it good? Is it? Yes, it does come up. It does in fact come up. Not as much as it does in something like the Decode Talker deck, which, by the way, follow me on Twitch. We're cocking with that. But it comes up in some fashions in this game that you want to get over certain things, or you want things not to be targeted, or you just want a good follow-up in general. It can be very useful. Now, we just swing for game. And that's going to be all she wrote. Cool beans, cool salad. You lose, I win. Get out of here. And Firewall can also bounce a Sunlight Wolf, which is obviously very useful because then they can't protect with Baylags. And you can use it on your turn. You know, that's obviously useful. Okay, so that's basically all the combos. I wanted to go into way more than depth than the first video. It's not every single little line, but those are the three major lines you're gonna run into. If you come up into any other situations, I highly encourage you. The link